Tickets jumped from $1,700 to $6,000 overnight. And some people were even saying it could hit $10,000 before the weekend. At the same time, others were paying over $1,000 just to sleep in a laundry room. And somehow that wasn't even the craziest part, because one influencer just revealed she spent nearly $200,000 for 3 days at Coachella. So what actually happened here? How did one of the biggest music festivals in the world turn into something that feels more like a financial survival game? This year was supposed to be historic, the 25th anniversary of Coachella. Everything was lined up perfectly to make it unforgettable, especially with Justin Bieber making his long-awaited return after years away from the stage. Fans had been waiting for this moment, especially after everything he went through with his health. And on top of that, there were rumors swirling that he might drop new music, or even preview upcoming projects, which only pushed the hype even higher. People started comparing the anticipation to what Beyoncé did years ago, when she completely redefined what a Coachella performance could be. But here's where things started to spiral. Tickets sold out in just 45 minutes. That alone should have been a warning sign, because what happened next wasn't just high demand, it was a system completely overwhelmed. Prices didn't just rise, they exploded. General admission tickets that were already expensive started showing up on resale platforms for thousands. And not gradually. We're talking about massive jumps within hours. It stopped feeling like a music festival and started looking more like a bidding war. And if you thought getting in was the hardest part, it wasn't. Because the real chaos started when people tried to figure out where they were actually going to stay. Social media quickly filled up with listings that didn't even sound real at first. One of the most talked about examples was a so-called accommodation that turned out to be a laundry room. No bed, no privacy, just a washer, a dryer, and somehow a $1,300 price tag for a few nights. And it didn't stop there. People were renting out tents pitched over trucks. Others were charging for literal floor space in crowded houses. Not rooms, not beds, just space. And the wild part? People were actually paying for it, because there was barely anything else available. Over 250,000 people flooding into the same area at the same time created a perfect storm. Supply vanished, and suddenly anything with a roof, or even without one, became fair game. But even that wasn't the worst of it, because just when people thought they had secured a place to stay, everything started falling apart at the last minute. Hosts began canceling bookings that had been confirmed months in advance, and not for any real reason, just to relist the exact same properties at 2 or 3 times the price. One group shared that their $7,500 reservation got canceled just weeks before the event. Then almost immediately that same property showed back up online, for more than double. At that point, it wasn't just expensive anymore, it felt ruthless. And even people who were used to the Coachella scene weren't safe from it. Influencers, content creators, people who had been going for years, they were getting hit too. Coco Moco shared how her tickets were suddenly canceled just days before the event through StubHub. Imagine that moment. Flights booked, outfits planned, everything ready. And then suddenly, nothing. And to make it worse, she noticed similar tickets popping back up for even higher prices. Even though the issue eventually got fixed, she described the entire situation as chaos, and coming from someone experienced, that says a lot. But here's the thing, even if you had money, even if you managed to secure tickets and a place to stay, the spending didn't stop there, because inside the festival, prices were on another level. Basic food items were being sold at premium prices. Drinks easily hit double digits. Something as simple as grabbing a quick meal and a drink could push close to $100 without even trying. Transportation costs surged too. Ride shares, private drivers, even bike rentals, everything was marked up. People weren't just spending thousands to attend, they were burning through hundreds every single day just to exist inside the event. And then there was the influencer layer on top of all of this. Private chefs, stylists, glam teams, exclusive parties, luxury transport, it all added up fast. But nothing highlighted that gap more than what Sophie Rain revealed. She casually broke down her expenses for the weekend, and the total came out to nearly $200,000. Just 3 days, tens of thousands on tickets, a private jet, a last-minute replacement Airbnb that cost more than most people make in a year. And while she explained it as wanting to go all out for her first time, the internet didn't take it lightly. Because for most people watching, that number wasn't just high, it was life-changing. That amount could wipe out debt, cover years of rent, or completely reset someone's financial situation. And that contrast is what really started to shift the conversation, because now it wasn't just about prices, it was about what Coachella had become. And just when it felt like things couldn't get worse, another layer started to surface. Scams everywhere. Fake listings flooded social media. Posts claiming to have extra tickets, verified wristbands, last-minute deals. And they were designed to look real, not too cheap to be suspicious. Just slightly below market price to feel like a lucky break. That's how people got pulled in. Some of these groups even had fake admins pretending to verify sellers, deleting negative comments, making everything look clean and trustworthy. They would send edited receipts, fake confirmations, anything to make it believable. And then came the pressure, urging buyers to send money quickly through apps that offer no protection. And once the money was sent, that was it. No ticket, no reply, nothing. There were even stories of people showing up to the festival gates, excited, ready, after traveling all the way there, only to find out their wristbands didn't work. Everything collapsing in that single moment. And that's when it really hits. This isn't just expensive anymore. It's risky. At this point, the entire experience starts to feel less like a music festival and more like a gamble. You're not just paying to attend, you're risking thousands just for the chance that everything might go right. And for a lot of people, that realization is starting to change how they see it. Because what was once about music, culture, and experience now feels like something else entirely. A place where hype drives prices, where scarcity creates opportunity for exploitation, and where status and image seem to matter more than the actual event itself. It's turning into a kind of social experiment. What happens when demand explodes, money floods in, and no one controls the system? And maybe that's the real story here. Not just that Coachella got expensive, but that it crossed a line. From experience to excess. From excitement to pressure. From a festival to a filter that only a certain group can realistically pass through. So now the question isn't just whether it's worth it, it's what you're actually paying for. Is it the music, the experience, or just the feeling of being part of something that everyone else is chasing? Because after everything that's happened this year, a lot of people are starting to wonder if it was ever really about the music at all.